signals from the Boeing 777. Renee Marsh with more on that.
Inside the cockpit of a Boeing 777, there are multiple ways pilots communicate with the ground. The ACAR system automatically beams down information about the health of the plane. Until today, we thought the last transmission was 1:07 a.m. local time. Now there's word it may have been transmitting data hours beyond that.
Give me details. What kind of information is being beamed down?
Commonly what's downloaded is engine parameters, temperatures, amount of fuel burn, any maintenance discrepancies.
Airlines monitor the real-time data. Another way to communicate, radio. All right, good night. The final call from the pilots as Flight 370 left Malaysian airspace, a common phrase when changing controllers.
We are in a dive here.
In Alaska Airlines Flight 261, when the plane dived out of control, pilots radioed what was happening. But no mayday from Flight 370.
In the event of an emergency, is communication secondary?
Yeah, the first thing is to fly the airplane, navigate the airplane, then communicate. That's the order of precedence.
A third way to communicate, by transponder. 1:21 a.m., Flight 370's transponder signal goes dead. It transmits the plane's location, speed, altitude, and position.
Is there any good reason that a pilot would want to switch that off?
Clearly, if all the power is lost to the aircraft or something happened to take out that part of the electronics, the electrical system, yeah, that would turn it off. But certainly one aspect of turning it off is because you don't want to be seen.
Radar tracks Flight 370 flying for another 9 minutes. At 1:30 a.m. local time, the plane vanishes. But the one piece of the plane that is likely still communicating, the flight recorders. Only sonar equipment can detect their pings, and time is of essence. The signal only lasts for about 30 days. Renee Marsh, CNN, Washington.
And as we mentioned, the search is now concentrated in a huge area of the Indian Ocean. For more on how the weather may help or hinder efforts, let's check in with Samantha Moore for us. Samantha.
Well, Natalie, that area, of course, expanded into a tropical region, and we're starting to see more activity here very near the equator, near the intertropical convergence zone, and that's often where we see strong tropical kind of storms that can turn into something larger. Now, we're not expecting anything specifically tropical in terms of a cyclone or a typhoon or anything like that, or what we'd call a hurricane here, but definitely this area expanding a little bit further to the south, and the satellite showing we're seeing a little bit more activity to the south. So here in the Malacca Strait, as they expand that search in this area, we'll see some storms start to develop as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. And you can see how this area expands all the way around 2,200 nautical miles, and all the activity that's starting to show up here near the equator, or just a few degrees to the north of the equator. So it is going to be breezy as we head into the next 48 hours. Then we'll start to see some of those scattered showers develop over the course of the weekend. So into our Saturday afternoon, we'll likely see some of those convective heat of the day kind of thunderstorms. Of course, they can often have gusty winds associated with them, so that could spell trouble for some of the search efforts here. And you can see the models showing that we are going to see more moisture bubbling up here. So basically, once we get into Saturday, we're going to have a chance for thunderstorms every day, especially during the afternoon, for the next 7 days. And here you can see that forecast. We'll see those clouds on the increase now. Very hot and humid with those dew points incredibly high, very, very moist. So that makes things uncomfortable for them as well to be out there for extended period of time.
All right, well, maybe they'll find something soon. Samantha, thank you.
You bet.
You're watching CNN Newsroom. In the next half hour, why critics say Malaysia's government could be mishandling the missing plane investigation. And America's top diplomat will meet again.